What is shaken bacons? Oh, I gotta get used to this new camera angle. Today, I'm going to be doing a review of a standing electric desk made by VIVO. It is the VIVO V120EW. This is not sponsored. I was able to get this with the help of my patrons on Patreon. This was a very necessary purchase for me. When I film and when I edit, my old desk, which you can see in the background there, is exactly the wrong height for me. I used to have to use a footstool, and when I would film and edit, because I have narrow wrist canals and it was all the wrong height for me, no matter what kind of adjustments I did for my chair or for the desk or with my footstool or with the seat cushion, nothing was able to keep me from having pain. So editing just one video, I would not be able to move my wrist for days afterward. I'm not kidding. It's ridiculous because my setup was so bad here. I had a sit-to-stand workstation at work, and I never have pain when I work at work because I can customize it to the height so that my arms are at a parallel 90-degree angle from my body. And I knew I needed to do that here so that I could get more videos out for you guys, because honestly, what keeps me the most, I think, from doing more, other than the fact that I work so much in my full-time job, is that I have so much pain when I am just home and working. So this was a big deal for me. This was the first thing I wanted to invest in to really improve my equipment, thanks to the support of the patrons on Patreon. You guys are amazing. I could not have done this without you. I am a small YouTuber. I make about 20 to 30 cents per video, even though I'm monetized, so I'm not rolling in the bucks from YouTube. And it is purely thanks to support on Patreon. You guys are amazing, and I appreciate you so much. I tell you guys that all the time. And my patrons on Patreon, you guys got a little audio log background of where I started from and the old office setup. And I'll flash a picture here on the screen. Don't judge me for the clutter. I was in the middle of setting up this desk. But anyway, I'm going to talk about the electric standing desk that I invested in. I ended up getting the VIVO V120EW frame, and now an electric desk is really expensive if you get the desktop with it. And that's when you start to get into the price range of like $600 and up. I haven't found any electric standing desks that are less expensive than that, although they may be if there's a sale or if you get a cheaper brand. So I knew I wanted to get a frame, and King Bacon is very handy. He does some part-time work as a handyman, so he has a lot of tools, and he's good with building things, which I'm very jealous over. And King Bacon ended up building me the desktop out of some lengths of pine that we just bought at Home Depot. And he put that together for me. He put some coats of poly on top to seal it. I still have to be very gentle with it because pine is a softwood and it can dent very easily. We attached that to the desk frame. Now, the desk frame itself was actually not too bad. It was about $269 and change when I got it. It was on Amazon. It was free shipping, and it is solid, man. This desk frame is solid as a rock, and I chose this one because it has dual motors. One concern that I had with if I got a crank up desk, which is significantly less expensive, or if I got a desk frame that had one electric motor, is if one of the motors burns out because it's trying to lift the entire weight of your full desktop, it's going to burn out faster if it doesn't have support on each end. I also wanted a dual motor desk because when you have a dual motor desk, if you have a larger desk, and I ended up building a 6-foot desk, not an 8-foot, I felt that was too large, but a 6-foot desk, the dual motor can support more weight. So it'll support a heavier desktop, it'll support more monitors, and it can support my camera and the tripod and the microphone. So that's why I ended up choosing a dual motor. It's incredibly quiet. I'll have some footage inserted where you can see me pushing it or hitting the button to put it up or put it down, and you can barely hear the motor. I thought it would be really loud. This is a very, very quiet desk frame, and even with the two motors, it is super quiet. It's very sturdy. I believe the weight rating is 220 pounds, I'm pretty sure, and it can hold up to a 94-inch length desk. So again, I went with 6 feet, so not even close to that. And so my desk frame is 6 feet by 2 feet, so kept it 24 inches. I didn't feel like I needed a wider desk than that. I didn't want the monitors or the camera to be too far back and too far out of range. So far, this desk has been amazing. I also wanted to get the one with the electric control. It has the up and down buttons and it has 4 preset settings. And it also apparently comes with a time reminder for when you should be standing or when you should be sitting. And that's good because according to my doctor, when you're using a standing desk, you should be standing for an hour and sitting for an hour, because standing for a long extended period of time and sitting for a long extended period of time are both bad for your back. So if you have a lot of neck and back issues like I do, you need to stagger them. So it's supposed to come with a reminder for when you should sit or stand, and you can set it up to do it automatically for you. I have not figured out how to do that yet, but so far it is working wonderfully. You can also manually adjust it in addition to setting some preset memory settings on this, which is fantastic. You can adjust the height from like 23 and change inches up to almost 50 inches. So it is incredibly flexible and versatile. It is able to fit my height perfectly, and I am so close to the floor right now. For me to sit at a comfortable height to work so that my arms are parallel and at a 90-degree angle, I am so close to the floor. The first time I had this set up, King Bacon walked in and he was like, "You're almost on the ground." And I was like, "I'm small, be quiet." But it works just as well if it's lifted. So I'm gonna stand up and I'm just gonna hit the button and you guys are gonna see me lift just from the camera. So here we go. This is trippy watching myself on the screen. Oh my God, it's making me kind of dizzy actually. So the desk is lifting itself. I'm just standing still. And now I can come and I can stand here, and I can stand if I film, which is really fun. And I can work here in comfort and not have to worry about craning my neck or hurting my wrists or hurting my back. It is fantastic. And you could probably barely hear the engine at all. It's very quiet. It's a very smooth operation. A few things I want to note if you are considering getting a desk like this is something I hadn't considered, and I felt like kind of a dunski for not thinking about it, is when you have your desk lifting like that, you have to account for the extra cable length to connect like your monitors and the microphone and the camera and the keyboard and everything else, so that things don't snap or strain or get pulled. So there was a couple things. I had to buy a couple cables in order to get this to work properly. I had to get a longer cable for one of my monitors because I only had a 3-foot DVI to HDMI cable for the monitor, and it just wasn't long enough, so I had to get a longer cable for that. And then the other thing I discovered, my Ethernet cable is hidden behind the green screen, but it comes up through the ground, and that cable was too short and could not reach the tower, because the tower, I didn't want to put the tower on the desk. I could have. It would hold the weight, but I don't want to burn out the engines before their time, and I didn't want the weight of the tower on there, so I left the tower on the filing cabinet. But in order for the Ethernet cable to actually reach the tower in its new position, because the desk is wider than my old one, I actually had to get an Ethernet cable extender. So there's a couple things to keep in mind when you're getting a desk like this. You can also, something else you should keep in mind is exactly the weight of your desktop. That was something I had to consider when I was deciding what kind of desktop to get. I've heard a lot of people get IKEA countertop sections to use for their desktop. I've already mentioned to you guys, I don't live in an area that is close to like major theater chains or early screenings, and I don't live in an area that is close to an IKEA. IKEA was not an option for me. I have also heard people order butcher block countertops from like Lowe's or from Home Depot. That could work. That also was not an option for me, mainly because I found the cost prohibitive and because I don't have a truck, and the cost to deliver a 6-foot length of countertop, like what I needed, with the width that I needed, that would not fit in the car, was more than the cost of the counter. And that to me was just a non-starter. So what King Bacon did was he got 3 pieces of pine and then 2 pieces of wood, just like plain, I don't know what it's called, junk wood or something from Home Depot, glued them together, polyed them, and then he left a channel on the underside. And we used that channel to run the cable management underneath, and the channel is also where the 2 motors get housed. So it ended up working out really well for cable management, at least underneath the desk. So I would recommend it if you end up trying to build the desk by yourself. It is a great thing to do to leave that channel in the middle, because I am shocked at how easy it made just dealing with the cables. Because one thing I will say about this desk, it does not come with a cable organizer. Some electric standing desk frames will come with a basket or with a metal kind of container for you to do cable management with. This one does not. It does not come with that. You can always get a basket or build one yourself, but we decided to account for that by leaving the gap in the middle of the boards underneath. I am extremely, extremely happy with this electric standing desk. I have no complaints about it so far. I have been getting everything still set up, and I've been using this for about a week now. And I just got the camera set up today, and I got the microphone all hooked up and set up yesterday. And I have to say, this has already made a huge, huge, huge difference on my health and on my comfort. I worked from home yesterday, and I was able to sit at my desk and not feel pain. And I am not dreading editing this video for you guys, because now that I know that this is going to be at the height I need it to be, I'm not concerned about losing mobility in my wrist for days afterward. I am so excited that this is set up, and I cannot believe that I was able to do this with the help of the patrons on Patreon, and of course the help of you guys here on YouTube as well, just supporting me with your views and with your comments and your likes. It means so much to me, and hopefully now that I have a setup where I'm not going to be dreading filming and editing, it's not going to be as difficult for me, and I'm going to be able to do more of it because I won't be dreading being in pain and unable to use my wrist or my hand for a few days afterward. So I am very excited. I would definitely recommend this desk so far. 2 thumbs up. Again, I'm not sponsored. I just really like this desk. It was a great purchase, and I think it's going to go a long way toward my health and my comfort, especially when I'm working on videos for you guys. So thank you again so much for your support, and thank you for watching. I'll have a link to the standing desk frame in the description box below if you wanted to check it out and see what it is. I also will have a link to the standing desk mat that I ended up purchasing to go with this standing desk frame. It's the Ergotron, and I bought the mini Ergotron Topo Mini, I believe is the full name, and it's a 3D mat so that you can kind of step on it and stretch your feet out as you're working and you're standing up. But those so far, this has been an amazing pair. I highly recommend it. So if you're interested, you can check out those links below. I bought them both from Amazon. And if you have questions for me, please feel free to leave a comment. I'm thinking about writing up a blog post where I explain exactly how King Bacon put the desk together, just like a step-by-step, because he didn't use a whole lot. I think he used a table saw, and he used some wood clamps to clamp the wood together, and he used wood glue, and then he just polyed everything. He might have screwed some screws in for extra support. I'm not entirely certain, but I'm thinking about writing up a blog post or something that explains how that's done in case anybody is interested. But yeah, this thing's amazing. It's really great. You know, my old desk in the corner, it's good, but not the right size, and I'm so happy to finally be comfortable while I'm working at the computer. I'm just so excited. I know it probably doesn't seem like a whole lot, but when your job is on a computer, I'm on a computer all day at work, and I come home and, you know, everything is digital now, and I love to game and I love to watch YouTube and I like to film and do videos for you guys. And so when I come home and I'm going to be on the computer for another couple hours and I'm just dreading it because I'm in pain, it means a lot to me to be able to not have to hurt at the end of the day. So thank you again for your support. Thank you so much. And if you have questions for me about any of the setup or about the desk itself, let me know in the comments down below. And in the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.